Today we're going to be dealing with a lot of fish. We've got some salmon, we've got cod, we've got some halibut, some monkfish, and what we're going to do is we're going to show people a few recipes that can be done by using these different varieties of fish. But also we want to explain that fish is in a quite plentiful supply, because a lot of people don't realise that the fishing industry are really managing and working with lots of different organisations to make sure that it really is in abundance, but without being scared about using it and resources being diminished. So we're going to get started. The first recipe we're doing today is salmon. So as you can see here, we've got a really beautiful fillet of salmon. Take it off my tray there. I mean, this piece here probably weighs, I would say, in excess of 2 to 3 kilos, so it's a really nice piece of salmon. And what we're going to do is just going to take a nice piece from the top end here, and we're going to skin it, because again, I'm not going to use it all right now, but we'll just take a nice slice from here, and you can see how nice and fresh it is, the colour, and the texture is just really, really very nice. Look at that there, real nice and pink all the way through. Pop that piece back on there for now. And this piece here, what we're going to do is we're going to skin it. Now, it's very easy to skin a piece of fish. Just really start at one side, take your knife, and then as your knife goes underneath the flesh, the piece of skin should, in theory, just come away, leaving the fish all skinned, okay? A little bit left there, but we're going to remove this piece of flesh here, because this is what we call the skirt, which is quite fatty. But for this reason we don't want. We just want a nice piece of the salmon here. So we're going to take away a piece of this here. It's not necessarily wasted, because this piece can be used for making beautiful salmon fish cakes and so on. So there's really no waste at all. So we might come back to that one a little bit later on. Okay, from here we're just going to check that there's no bones left. So it's called pin boning, deboning. So in here sometimes there's 1 or 2 bones, but as I'm feeling down the section, there's really nothing there to remove. So it's all been nicely removed. And we're just going to trim it up a little bit so it's all nice and neat and tidy. Ready for the cooking process. Okay, so the salmon is now ready for the poaching pot. Now we're going to cook this by poaching. And to poach it, we're going to use some white wine. Okay, so be quite generous with the wine. I find cooking with wine is much better than just water, because you find when the fish actually poaches, it keeps it nice and crisp and clean around the edges. You don't get like a fatty residue at the same time. So in goes the beautiful piece of salmon there. And into there we're going to put some parsley stalks. There we are. Always important to use the parsley stalks, because that way the leaves can be used for sauces and for garnishing as well. And into there we're going to put some carrot for flavour. Again, it doesn't need peeling or anything, because we're not going to eat it. It's purely just for flavour. And that goes there too. And also some celery. So just a couple of slices of celery, in we go. And while that's poaching, we're going to move on to what we're going to serve it with, which is going to be a Hollandaise sauce. Very quick and simple. First of all, we take ourselves a bowl, stainless steel bowl, because we're going to actually make this over a pan of heat. Take a couple of egg yolks, into the bowl we go. Okay, and just whisk them down so they break down nicely. Put them to one side. Then in a pan over here, we put some white wine vinegar, some peppercorns, either crushed or ground, because what we're going to do is we're going to infuse the vinegar with some black pepper. There we are. Now, eventually it will come to the heat, and we want to reduce it by about a half, so it's got quite a pungent flavour, but eventually as it reduces down, once it's got to the point of a half the quantity we've got to start off with, we pour it into the egg yolks, and then we heat these over a pan of hot water, but not to the boiling point, okay? So we'll just get that there warming up ready. And in the meantime, over here we've got some unsalted melted butter, which we're going to pour all together once this is reduced down. Almost seems like a waste of wine, but it really is necessary for poaching fish nicely. So the white wine vinegar and the peppercorn reduction is reduced down by about a half now, so we can take that off and just leave that to cool down for half a second or so. Onto here we go now with our pan of water and our egg yolks, just into a stainless steel bowl there. And we're just going to warm these through slightly. And what we're going to do is now we're going to pour in the white wine reduction with the peppercorns. In that goes, and we're going to whisk that slightly, just so it doesn't cook the eggs completely through, okay? Now as that heats up over the heat, we're going to gradually add the melted butter, which will make a really nice hollandaise sauce. There we go, and there's our hollandaise sauce ready to go. Now we could serve some nice asparagus with this, which we can just cook in the cooking liquor there as well. So the asparagus, just to lightly cook it through, only takes a couple of minutes, and again cooked in the wine, a really nice flavour too. Just pop the lid on there for a couple of minutes. Takes no time at all to cook, literally 3 or 4 minutes for the salmon and 2 or 3 minutes for the asparagus. And from there we just take the nice piece of salmon from the poaching liquor onto our plate, along with our asparagus, nice and fresh and vibrant colours. And then from there we just take some of our hollandaise sauce, and over we go. Now that, served with some nice new potatoes or some freshly boiled rice, to me is the perfect way to serve the salmon. And again with just a slice of lemon, as always with fish. There you go, poached salmon with hollandaise sauce and asparagus.